So again, lot of theories. So what exactly the C tokens are? You can see some points over here about C tokens. Whenever we write a program and compiler is compiling the program, what exactly is being done? Your entire statement is being chunked into smaller pieces. And C token is nothing but the smallest chunk. As you can see, the smallest element in a C program is recognized by a compiler is known as C tokens. So we have categorized C tokens in some parts. Now in this lecture I am going to explain those categories, right? So consist of words or symbol used in program which has specific meaning to a compiler. So this categories is having some specific meaning. Each category has some rules and regulations. So we are going to study all of them in detail. First, let me show you how many types of C tokens are there. Basically, there are 5 types of C tokens. First is keywords, identifiers, then you can see constant, strings, and last but not the least, operators. First of all, what exactly this keywords is? You can see the definition and points over here. Keywords are specific words which are reserved in C programming language. What exactly this word reserved means? I have told you that you cannot use main word as a variable name or as a function name again. Because meaning of main is already defined in C, that our program execution will start with main. Similarly, if word, else word is already defined, its meaning is defined, right? So this all kind of words are called keywords, which is basically used to perform some kind of internal operations, predefined operations. There are 32 keywords, right? These are the list. You can see the list over here. There are 32 keywords and these keywords must be in a lowercase. You cannot write capital F-O-R, 4. 4 is also keyword, but you cannot write first word capital, first letter capital. That is the rule. You can see each keywords over here. So you cannot use these keywords as a variable name or identifier's name. Identifier I am going to explain in next slide. Now, what exactly this second token category identifier means, right? So if I am writing int space a and semicolon, that means int is a data type which is keyword, which is having some predefined meaning. And A is identifier which will be used to identify some kind of variable. And identifier can be declared as any name that is convenient to a user. So words used to identify values stored in a variable or a function name are called identifier. It must be unique in a program. So suppose you have defined int A one time, then in some lines after you cannot use int A or float A or something. A must be unique, can try it in your program defining same variable name twice or thrice. You will see that you will encounter an error. So as you can see, suppose I am declaring a variable using int, float, char, something like that, and after that I am writing identifier. So this part is called keywords and the next part is called identifier. So this is all about keywords and identifier, right? Now here you can see the list. In this list I have shown you that which identifier is valid and which are invalid identifiers, because there are set of rules that must be considered while giving name to a variable, like while defining the identifier. Here now you can see the rules which are used to give names to identifier. First rule is identifier can contain any alphabetic character or any numeric character, that is capital A to Z, small a to Z or 0 to 9. But it can contain only one symbol, that is underscore symbol. Except underscore, you cannot use any other symbol as the name of identifier. You can use student underscore name. You can use say number 1, num1, n1, a1, something like that. Second most important rule is the first letter of identifier must be underscore or alphabetic character. So you can write something as underscore student name, underscore say PPS, underscore 1 PPS, but first letter can, or simply PPS1, N1, M1, right? So you can use alphabetic character regardless of its case, uppercase or lowercase, or you can also use underscore, but you cannot use number as a first place. So this is one of the most important rule to define identifier. Then you cannot use keywords like int, y, etc. as identifier. So you cannot write int space int. I'm thinking that I want to give my variable name as int. You cannot use this. You cannot use any of the keyword as variable name or as an identifier. And that's why I have told you that you cannot use main again. Main can be used as a function only. You cannot use main as a variable name or any other function name. Because it is keyword, you cannot use it as an identifier. Only first 31 characters are significant, right? So whenever you are giving a name, only 31st characters are significant. It must not contain white space. So you can just try doing this rules. Suppose you are defining something as float student space name. You are thinking that this student name is a single variable name, but it will throw an error because we cannot use white spaces while defining a variable name. Instead of that, you can write student underscore name, right? And last but not the least, identifiers are case sensitive because our C programming language is case sensitive. So capital ABC and small ABC both can be used as an identifier because the cases are different, right? One is in small case, other is in uppercase. Now you can see constant. As the name suggests, constant are the variables which is having fixed value throughout the program. So as you can see the point fixed values in a program, its value remains same during the entire execution of the program. And suppose you want to define some value as a constant, then you have to put const keyword. I'm using this word keyword because the meaning of const, C-O-N-S-T, is already defined, predefined, and it is included in our 32 keywords. So you can use const keyword before the data type, then after you can use data type, then the variable name, and then you can assign the value. So till now we have known two methods to declare a constant. First is by using macro like hash define, that we have done in our previous video and in our previous programs. Second is by using const keyword, by declaring using const keyword. So this is all about constants. Now there are the type of constants. First is numeric constant and second is character constant. What exactly is numeric constant? Any number can have whole value or it can have fractional value. Based on that, our constant can be integer constant or real constant. Same way, suppose I want some constant as a some character as a constant. I'll show you the programs in which we are using characters. At that time, character constant can be like a single character can be a constant, and the string like the set of characters or words. We can define both in C programming language. Now, in upcoming lectures, I'm going to use that words and their syntaxes, so don't worry about that right now. Right now, just understand that this is the type of constant. So, first is integer constant. The sequence of digits, the whole numbers. It may be preceded by a sign, like you can use any number, positive or negative numbers as a integer constant. And it does not only include decimal numbers, but you can also use octal and hexadecimal numbers as a constant. But you know, in our day-to-day life, in our programming, we do not need to deal with this hexadecimal and octal numbers. You are going to study this in detail in your digital circuit subjects in third semester, right? Now, the second is real constant. So these are not the whole words. These are the numbers with fractions. We can also define something like that. Like if I am defining pi as a constant using define or const keyword, I can give value as 3.14. So 3.14 is not an integer number, it is float number, real number. So you can have real constant as well. This constant may be expressed either in normal or either in exponential form. It may have two parts. First is mantissa and second is exponent. And you can see the example below there. You can see these examples. This is how you can define constant. Now, the character constant. After completing this part, I am going to show you about the characters. So don't worry, in this video only. But suppose you want to define a character as constant. Then the golden rule is the character must be enclosed in a single inverted comma. If you are enclosed single character even in double inverted comma, that means it will consider it as a string, the set of character. And what is the difference between single inverted comma x and double inverted comma x, that I am going to explain in our strings chapter. Right? So you can also declare constant as a characters. Here you can see the examples over here. Now there is one term which is new to you, that is ASCII value. For C programming language, each uppercase and lowercase value and all the symbols are provided with some integer value to identify it. Right? So whenever I am writing print, as you can see, print percentage C. Why I have used percentage C? Because I am dealing with character. Then after, I used to write the variable name. But here, instead of variable name, I am directly using a constant, that is A, which is enclosed between single inverted comma. So it will be considered as 65 because the ASCII value, the integer value associated with the capital A is 65. Right? So this both printf is same. This will be considered as a same. You can try this program in your printf, and we are going to try this. So don't worry if you don't understand right now, right? So this is called character constant. Now let me just open my IDE and show you that how exactly this character constant works. So let's just see that. So here I will demonstrate that how you can use characters and what exactly this ASCII value is. So here you can see the code over here. This is very general code for each program. Now instead of using int or float, I am using char. Even if you are not using it, is okay. Let me first do it without using that, and then I will show you that how you can do this with using them. So printf percentage C. Why percentage C? Because I want to I am telling my computer system that I want to print kind of character. If I am printing integer, I can use, I am telling my computer to print integer. So percentage D. Here I want to print character, that's why I am using percentage C. Now in the previous programs we used to place the variable name over here because we want to print the value inside that variable, and that I have already explained in our live classes, right? So I don't want to print the statements, I just want to print the value inside that variable. But right now I just directly want to put the character over here. That's why I have written A, right? Now let's just see if it is working or not. So just saving the program, compiling it, it is compiled successfully, and now if I run the program, you can see A is printed. Now instead of this A, I am writing just 65. As 65, I am entering 65 as a number, and I am printing the character associated with the 65. So now let's just save this program, compile it and run it again. You can see A is printed. That means any value that is associated with this number will be printed. Now instead of this 65, suppose I am writing 91 or say 97. Let me just save this program, compile it and run it. You can see small a is printed because the value associated with this 91 is small a, right? Now this ASCII value are sequential. So if small a starts with 97, then that means small b will start with 98 and so on. Similarly, for capital A it is 65, for capital B it will be 66 and so on. So this is how you can print character. Now don't get confused with your existing knowledge of the identifier, keywords and all that. So instead of writing int A, I am writing char A. That means A is the identifier which is having data type character. That means the A labeled box in memory can hold the character value. Right? Now I am declaring this character as capital A. So instead of A in between the inverted comma, I can simply write small a. Right? Please don't confuse it, or if you are confusing with this keyword, let me just change this identifier. Sorry. So let me just save this program, compile it and run it. You can see A is printed. So this is the same way of initialization. You can also use scanf coders, and we have some other input functions as well for dealing with characters. If you don't understand this right now, don't worry. Whenever we are practicing this in our actual program, you will be habituated with this. So this is all about the character constant. Now let us just continue with our PowerPoint presentation. Right? Okay. So our next topic is backslash characters. We all have used slash and in our program, and you know that whenever you want to print something in new line, then you can use slash n. But slash n is not only the backslash character. There exists some other backslash character that you can also use. You can use, say, this slash t for giving tags. You can use slash 0 as a null string. Null string we are going to study in strings. Then double quotes, single quotes, etc. Right? Because sometimes it may happen that you want to print double quote. We used to enclose the statement in double quotes in printf, right? What if you want to print double quote itself? How will you tell computer that you want to print double quote? It is not for the completion or starting of any quotations. So at that time you can use this kind of symbols. So you have to remember the symbols, and if you don't understand, you can just use this symbol in some random printf function, and you will see that what exactly the output will be. Right? So you can use that. Second thing that you can learn is trigraph characters. This is the list of trigraph character. Now what exactly this trigraph character is? There are some keywords. some keyboards like Chinese keyboard, Japanese keyboards, in which they do not give some particular keys. So whatever keyboard you are seeing is not the universal keyboard. Like it may happen that in some other country it may differ, right, according to that country's law. So if some particular key is not available in your keyboard but you want to use that, at that time you can use this 3 sequence of character in place of that key. So you have to remember this. In general we do not use trigraph characters, but this is for the sake of your information and learning. You can learn this and have some extra knowledge. So some keyboards do not support all the characters in C. So to use this non-supported characters in the program, C has a special facility called trigraph sequence, which starts with the question mark. The trigraph sequence is a combination of 3 characters that will available in all keyboards. So this combination of 3 characters are available in each universal keyboard. So it is necessary. It will be there only. And trigraph sequence consists of 2 question mark character followed by some special character. These characters are shown in previous table. Now you cannot practice these keywords basically because you are having those keys in your keyboard. But this just for the sake of those keyboards with different languages. Now last but not the least is string constants. As I told you that instead of x or instead of suppose k, I want to give a constant name as Komal, K-O-M-A-L, which is sequence of character, which is called word. So suppose I want to give constant value to a word, give constant value to the variable in form of word, then I can use string. For strings we have a different chapter itself. So don't worry, right now just understand that this kind of thing is happening in C. Right? So this is all about C tokens. Last but not the least is operators. What exactly the operator is? Suppose I have written A plus B. That means A is called operand, plus is called operator, and B is called operand. Right? If I am using C equal to A plus B, that means C, A and B are called operands, plus and equal to are called operator, right? And this entire thing of mixing of operands and operator is called expression. You can see the definition over here. An operator is a symbol which helps the user to command the computer to do certain mathematical and logical manipulation. So with help of operator you can do this mathematical functions like plus, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Operands are the variable or expression which are used along with the operator to evaluate the expressions. So operator alone is not useful. You have to use operand with that. You cannot do anything without A and B, right? And last but not least, the combination of operand and operators is called expressions. So you all know this. For example, A equal to B plus A, as I have already given, this is the same example, same kind of example, right? Now, one last important thing is the operators can be of 2 types. The operators which need at least 2 variables are called binary operator. You cannot add any number with single number. You can say, ma'am, I can add A plus 1. But here A is operand and 1 is also kind of a constant, right? So you cannot add with single operand or without any constant. So plus, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, they needs say 2 operators, binary operator. Same way we can have unary operators as well. So you are writing minus 5, that means it will make the negative value of 5. You are complementing something, complement of A, that do not need another operator, another operand. So whatever that operation that can be performed using single operand only are called the unary operator. So this is the basic difference of unary and binary operator, and this is all about C tokens. Now in upcoming lectures I am going to explain these operators in details because we are having 8 most important operators in C programming language, and I am going to explain each of them in detail. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you have any doubt, you can comment below the comment section and ask me. Thank you so much.